Right now, outside your home, in a parking lot, or sitting along a quiet street, there are millions of cars slowly being eaten alive, not by impact, not by age, but by a chemical reaction so small you can't see it happening. At first, it begins beneath the paint, along the edges, inside seams no one ever checks, and by the time it becomes visible, the damage is already expensive. This process has a name: rust. And despite how common it is, most people don't actually understand what it does, or how long we've known how to control it. Because the truth is, the science behind stopping rust is not new. It's over a century old. In the late 1800s, researchers discovered something unusual. A certain type of acid phosphoric acid had a unique interaction with iron. Instead of simply corroding, it could change the structure of existing rust. At a microscopic level, rust, known scientifically as iron oxide, is unstable, porous, and constantly spreading. But when exposed to this compound, it undergoes a transformation. It becomes iron phosphate, a darker, more stable material that bonds to the surface of the metal. Not indestructible, but significantly less reactive. By the early 20th century, this reaction had been refined into industrial processes designed to protect metal at scale. And then, global war accelerated everything. During World War II, military equipment faced extreme environments: salt water, mud, humidity, temperature swings. Metal degraded fast. Weapons failed, vehicles weakened, equipment lifespan dropped dramatically. A solution was needed: fast, cheap, and scalable. That solution became known as parkerizing, a phosphating method that used chemical reactions to create a protective layer over steel. It was applied to firearms tools, mechanical components, and it worked. Not perfectly, but reliably enough to become standard practice. After the war, the process didn't disappear. It moved into industry, manufacturing, machinery, automotive applications, and eventually consumer products. Today, that same category of chemistry exists in a much simpler form, often sold as something called a rust converter. Despite the name, it doesn't remove rust. It changes it, stabilizes it, slows it down, and prepares the surface for further protection. But here's where things become interesting. Because while the chemistry is simple, the economics around it are not. Corrosion is one of the most expensive material problems in the world. Globally, it costs hundreds of billions of dollars every year across infrastructure, transportation, and industry. Vehicles alone represent a massive portion of that, especially in regions where winter conditions introduce a second factor: salt. Road salt acts as an electrolyte. When combined with water, it accelerates the electrochemical reaction of corrosion. Metal loses electrons faster, rust forms quicker, damage spreads deeper. What might take years in dry conditions can happen in a single season, and once it starts, it doesn't stop on its own. There are generally 3 recognized stages of corrosion: surface-level oxidation, deeper scaling, and material breakdown and full penetration through the metal. Each stage increases complexity and cost. By the time corrosion reaches structural depth, repairs become significantly more involved: cutting, replacement, refinishing. But before that point, there exists a wide gray area, where outcomes depend heavily on timing, environment, and treatment. This is where products like rust converters exist, not as miracle solutions, but as part of a broader system of corrosion management. And yet most people never think about any of this until the damage is visible, until the paint bubbles, until discoloration appears, until repairs are suggested, because corrosion is quiet. It doesn't demand attention early. It doesn't trigger alarms. It simply progresses, slowly, consistently, predictably. And by the time it becomes obvious, decisions become more expensive. This isn't about hidden secrets or forbidden knowledge. The chemistry is well documented. The processes are widely known. But the awareness, that's where the gap exists. Understanding what rust is, how it behaves, and what categories of solutions exist changes how you see every vehicle around you. Because once you notice it, you start seeing it everywhere. On older cars, along wheel arches, under door panels, even on relatively new vehicles in the right conditions. Corrosion is not rare, it's universal. and the methods used to manage it, from industrial treatments to simple chemical converters, all trace back to the same fundamental principle. Control the reaction before the reaction controls the material. If this opened your perspective even slightly, subscribe to Mike's Raw Knowledge, because this channel is about understanding the systems behind everyday things, not just what happens, but why. And one last thing, this video is for educational purposes only. It is not professional advice, and it does not replace proper inspection or repair by qualified specialists, because sometimes what looks simple on the surface goes much deeper than expected.